Young lady, he never gave me no Dan hoops. He presumably gave us to Jennifer up. You all should be sat for this tea, since word on the roads is that Tiffany Haddish is presently spreading the gossip around that her ex-boo Normal is attempting to turn the block with her and connect despite his young lady, Jennifer Hudson's good faith Tiffany, has been misbehaving since Jennifer and Normal went together, yet this has gone off the deep end since she is currently blaming Normal for undermining Jennifer. Tiffany has been determined to separate the couple, briefly guaranteeing that she and Normal are still enamored, yet it appears as though she has gone excessively far. This time on the grounds that Jennifer Hudson just called battle on her. I'm seeing someone as perhaps of the most lovely individual I at any point met throughout everyday life. And she's brilliant, she cherishes God, she has something genuine sensible about her. She's skilled, yet I set my standard sort of high, 'cause she needed to have an EGOT, she needed to win Oscar on her most memorable film. I said my standhouse she needed to get her own syndicated program, gracious oak, wildly defensive of her relationship with Normal. This is on the grounds that she's experienced a line of harsh ones preceding. She's all set to bat for this one, since it truly is by all accounts going flawlessly. Now I'm not tossing conceal at Jennifer, or disregarding her, or any such thing. I mean, come on, she's an all-out legend. She's one of those uncommon individuals who stowed a Grammy, Emmy, Oscar, and Tony, so dissing her would simply be plain odd. Yet we should be genuine here. Her heartfelt history has been a cycle of an exciting ride, to understate the obvious, regardless of her endeavors. Things haven't generally worked out. Her most memorable serious relationship was with this person named James Ton back in '99. When she was only 18, they stuck it out for a strong 8 years, which, considering she was exploring popularity, and everything is darn great. I mean, we should confront it. Celebs in Hollywood appear to change accomplices like they change furnishes, so enduring 8 years is not easy at all. While she decided to keep the subtleties of this separation hidden, she conceded that it had something to do with how furious her life was. She said it was my decision to separate, certainly, yet it was the same old thing, or unfamiliar, don't like anything unexpectedly, as he didn't have the foggiest idea what was happening. It had nothing to do with my distinction at all. It was anything but an issue relating to that. She proceeded to indicate that Peyton had disapproved of her work, saying it is troublesome with this sort of way of life, and being a resilient lady. And being seeing someone I've in the end come to realize while managing individuals, or guys on occasion have issues when they are with a fruitful lady, or even it's unusual. And I truly intend that overall, in all cases, it's something I've seen in a ton of circumstances with regards to effective ladies, or tough ladies anyway. She conceded that they stayed in contact and were cordial when we separated. It wasn't the notoriety. I would rather not put his business out there. It ain't up to me to tell. And perhaps that is a piece of the confidential side to Jennifer. Yet I very much prefer to give individuals their regard frankly, and he's similar to family right up till now. And I won't put him on impact. I won't treat him so harshly, as that it didn't take Jennifer long to return from her separation. With Ton inside only 2 or 3 months, she had a renewed person in her life. And let me let you know, things move it at twist speed. She and Ton tapped out late in 2007, and by mid-2008, she was at that point caught it up with WWE grappler David Otunga. Now their gathering was a digit eccentric. David was on the unscripted television show I Love New York, too. They didn't precisely run into each other on the actual show, yet being in that Hollywood scene opened up a ton of entryways for him. One of his buddies figured he and Jennifer would become friends, so they made the presentation. Turns out that Companion was onto something, since sparkles flew among Jennifer and David. At every turn, they began seeing each other around 2007, and Kid did things raise rapidly under a year after the fact. On Jennifer's 27th birthday celebration in September 2008, David asked about getting married, They seemed like the truly amazing couple. Essentially, that is what we as a whole suspected tragically misfortune. Struck not long after Jennifer said okay, only half a month after the fact her brother by marriage ended the existences of her mother sibling and nephew. It was an unbelievable bad dream. Yet Jennifer had David close by through it all. He was her stone, generally there to loan a comforting presence. David blew away arranging trips and doing anything he might to assist Jennifer with beginning to recuperate and discover some comfort in the midst of the shock. Later that very year, Jennifer figured out she was pregnant in 2009. She invited their child, David Jar, and unexpectedly, they had this delightful little nuclear family. Quick forward to 2010, and they've been locked in for north of 2 years. Normally, people began pondering when the much-anticipated day was at last going to show up. Tails whirled that they were intending to secure the bunch that year. However, at that point, crickets. And the quiet extended on for an additional 2 years. By 2012, the hypothesis had arrived at a breaking point. David at last moved forward to put any misinformation to rest, demanding they'd previously marked the calendar, yet were keeping it secretive. Jennifer even prodded that she purchased a dress that would get everyone's attention. The two of them guaranteed that they deferred the wedding so much because that they were sitting tight for equity for the homicide of janitor's mother sibling and nephew. They said that was something that was looming over our heads for such a long time. And presently we feel like we can at long last inhale a moan of alleviation. Everything is great now by 2014. Yet there wasn't a peep about their wedding plans at this stage. It was really clear that things weren't going too flawlessly between them. David appeared to be Mia during a few significant minutes in Jennifer's day-to-day existence and profession. It was turning out to be progressively evident that something was amiss, despite the fact that they continued to dismiss any theory. Yet by 2017, they couldn't keep up the veneer any more. Lastly confessed about their split. Looking back, there were certainly signs highlighting inconvenience preparing in heaven. Sometime before the separation sensation dropped, Jennifer had dropped a couple of clues in interviews that made the admonition light streak. She referenced how David wasn't precisely excited about her shedding pounds and increasing her glitz game, which looking back ought to have been a quite large warning. Jennifer visited the Jay Leno show, where she was asked, "Does your life partner's thought process? Does he like the new spelt you?" Jennifer answered, "He's getting acclimated to it. He's not actually into change that much, so he complains of me like, for what reason do you must have to get looking good to go out? And for what reason might you at any point go out like you used to?" And I'm similar to I'm a mobile bulletin presently, honey. Definitely things got pretty chaotic genuine fast after the split. At first, it seemed like your commonplace. We've developed separated sort of separation, you know. Or perhaps they're insane occupied